All right, Tuesday morning, some sporadic storms left some damage like this. Trees, large branches. You see this house there? That's out into the road. That was a lot of cases there. Some of them found trees in their pools, their houses. There was quite a bit of damage through there.
Yeah, and at one point, over 25,000 customers left without power. This morning, only a few outages left.
I didn't necessarily know what was going on until I heard like a really loud thunder, like right out my window.
5:50 a.m. woken by a really loud crack. I assumed it was the house getting struck by lightning. It also sounded like some shattered glass.
Oh, it was loud. It was loud in my house, and it was not near the path of the storm damage here.
So you saw our reporter Grant Stevens out there conducting those interviews. You were talking to people, seeing what you could find yesterday morning. You're live again for us this morning. And this is something new you found today. You didn't even find this yesterday, right, Grant?
Yeah, it has not been hard to find debris from this storm. We're in Loose Park right now, and we just stumbled across this tree that had been completely toppled by the storms. I mean, look how big this is. If I walk over towards it, you can see how massive this root structure is. It's almost as tall as me, just standing end to end, toppled by the wind. But arborists and experts that were out there cleaning up yesterday told me there are some things you can do as a homeowner to prevent something like this from happening. And it really starts with two things: looking and also trimming. The first one that Steve Strauss with Kingdom Tree pointed out to me is about the canopies up above the trees. A lot of these big old trees live in neighborhoods with lots of other big old trees, and they kind of create a big wind sail that if you don't trim those limbs away over time, there's just so much wind that hits the top of them and they get knocked over like this big huge one behind me. But there's also the other one, the inspection, the looking part of this. The storms we've experienced over the last couple weeks and months, those brought high winds too. And he says those likely caused stress fractures in a lot of these trees that just popped up with yesterday's winds. So you might have some trees like these in your yard, and arborists recommend you take care of them by either looking for those stress fractures, getting them trimmed, or at least just getting an inspection before the next storm. But here's what Steve had to say.
It's been a really busy storm season this year, and we had some excessive winds early on in the spring. And so there were stress fractures that are caused. You get a stress fracture in there, and as time goes on, it gets beat up by Mother Nature some more.
Yeah, you can imagine how tough that is on a tree that's been slightly fractured, and then it has to face another storm. One little consumer tip, though, I want to leave you guys with. Those inspections that I've been mentioning, a lot of that is free depending on the company you call. They'll come out, they'll do an inspection to see what needs doing, and then you can evaluate whether that's the kind of move you want to make. They might do some bracing, they might do some trimming like I mentioned, but this is preventative maintenance to make sure a tree doesn't come crashing down on your power line or on your home during the next storm.
Yeah, because not only is that costly, it can be very dangerous.
Yeah, important to spend some money to save some money later on in situations like that.
And get a good idea of what needs immediate help and what can wait. Grant, thank you very much.